Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. So let's start with the eye on the right side. I'm going to start with the curve along the top eyelid, going from inside to out. And then here in the inside, I'm just going to do an overlap and come down to the center of the eye, or the inner part of the eye. From here, I'll go up again, do an overlap, and come around and connect with that top point there. Let's draw the pupil. So he's got a big pupil. So at the top edge, we're going to start and come down, and then wrap back up to the top. In the center, I'm just going to draw a little black dot. And I'm going to draw and actually color in the inside part of the eye black just because I think it looks really cool that way. So let's go ahead and color that all in. And from here, I'm going to draw the eyebrow. So let's go into the inner part of the eye up here and just draw a curve that goes up. From here, I'm going to curve just above the eye. And then from here, I'm going to switch positions and go the other way. Let's go on the inner part of the eyebrow and just thicken that up and just taper out as we get up to the top. And then just color that all in black. And just up above this eyelid, I'm just going to draw a line across just to give that little double eyelid look. Beneath this eye, I'm just going to draw a little bit of a wrinkle, just for a little bit of detail. Okay, from here, I'm going to draw in some hair and just overlay that on top before I draw the rest of the face, just because it's easier to draw things that are on top and then things underneath get drawn in afterwards. So above this eye here, right about here, I'm going to start and just draw a curve down towards the eyebrow and curve up again. From here, I'm going to draw in the opposite direction, so coming down in the middle of the face and then curving up. And this is going to be a series of overlaps. So I'm going to come up a little bit and just draw another curve that goes up. From here, I'm going to come down a bit and just do another overlap and going out. So you just want to kind of layer in the hairs as you go across the head. So along the top, and it doesn't really matter which direction you go as long as it sort of comes down to the right length. From here, I'm just going to draw an overlap and just switch directions. Again, I'm just going to keep going and layering things in here, come down a bit. I'm just going to go out as far as I need to the edge of his head until it gets out of the way of sort of the face area. Okay, so we got the one side here. Let's go on the other side. Curve around that eyebrow, go up, come down a little bit longer. I'm just layering hairs in like this. Go in the other direction like so. Okay, so then we got the hair. Now we're going to start drawing the elements underneath that hairline. Let's draw the eye patch. So if I look at this eye, the eye would be right about here on this side, just underneath the eye patch. So I'm going to draw this eye patch edge right here. And I'm just going to draw underneath that hairline. From here, I'm probably going to have to go up to this side. So curve up. And then following that same line, I'm going to go up in an angle. So this is going to get tucked in underneath that hair. Let's draw on some of the rivets and bolts. So one in the corner there, and one in the corner here. And then the strap for the eye patch will go this way. So you're not going to see it much here. You'll start to see it right here, probably. And then going across above that eyebrow. And then just above that, we're just going to make that twice as thick. Let's draw a little bit here. Okay, now let's get into the mask area. So up above the nose bridge, it kind of curves upwards. So right here from the eye patch, we'll curve up and around. So underneath that eye patch and underneath that hairband. We're going to go up to the cheeks, which are probably here. So from this point, I'm going to curve down and then around to the width of his head. And I want to make sure from center, this distance is the same over here. So I'm just going to put a point of reference here, and I'll just curve that in like that, just underneath that eye patch. From here, I'm going to come down to a pointed chin, but before I draw that, I'm going to draw actually the mouth first because I want to make sure I leave myself enough space before I draw the chin. So let's draw the top part of the mouth. Let's draw a curve that goes around and then curves up on either side, on left and right. And from here, I'm going to do an overlap. So let's overlap here and draw a curve to the outer part of the mouth. Same with the left side. Then these two will start to converge together. So curving inwards on both sides. And then from here, I'm going to just do an upward curve like that to the bottom of the mouth. And just underneath here, I'm just going to draw a curve to show the bottom edge of the lip. Now from here, there's a zipper here. So I'm just going to draw a very simple zipper. So from this point, I'm going to draw sort of a half rectangle. Or actually, let's draw a full rectangle. And then a box behind it like so. Then from here, I'm just going to draw a straight line across. And I'm going to make that twice as thick, not too thick, along the top and bottom. And then along the way, I'm just going to draw almost like railroad tracks, go right across, like so. Let's draw the top row of teeth. So from the center, I'm going to go up. I'm going to move my way to the left, and I'm not going all the way to the top. I'm leaving a little bit of a space. And then I'll go to the right, and I'll do the same thing, just making even spaces along the way. And then I'm going to connect the tops with a curve. So if it gets tucked underneath that lip, that's okay. Just kind of keeping them at the same height all the way across. At the end, just tuck that in underneath the mouth. And then I'll do the same for the bottom row. Making sure that they're the same length all the way across. And then connecting with upward curves all the way across. And then tucking that underneath the mask area. So, okay, so there's the mouth. Then the chin, I know is going to be right about here. So I'm going to put a point of reference there for me. Here, the cheeks are going to come down to the jaw, which would be right about here. So I'll take this point and draw an angled line towards the jaw. And then these 2 points are going to go towards that point there. But I'm going to round out the edge of the jaw and then round out the bottom of the chin. Because I don't want it to be too sharp. Point up like that. And then from here, I could just kind of take this point and just wrap the sides of his head up. And then for ears, I'm just going to do a simple ear. From this point, I'm just going to curve up and tuck that in underneath that hair. Same on this side, just curve that up like so. And for a little bit of ear detail, just want to draw a little curve. Just on both sides, like so. Okay, now let's draw the rest of the hair. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to draw one more rivet here. I almost forgot. It's got a rivet on the side of the mask. Let's get into the rest of the hair here. So the hair kind of keeps flaring out up to the top, which is pretty high. It's got some pretty high hair here. So let's continue overlapping hair. So I want to go out like so. On this side, I probably want to go a little bit wider. Go like that. Okay, so that looks pretty equal. Then from here, I'm just going to come up in a curve. Here, I'm just going to come up like so. And then now I can start putting a little bit more detail. And probably put a hair flare like that. Come up like so. And this will curve over to the crown of his hair, just like that. Now if you want to, you can go in and just extend some of these lines just to show that the hair kind of goes up all the way up to the top of the head. You don't really have to do this, but I just kind of like putting a little bit more detail. Okay, so now that we have that, let's get into the neck area. So he's got this big collar around his skinny neck. So I'm going to draw the front edge of the collar first before I get into the neck, just because it's drawn on top. So basically it's a curve, but along the way I'm just going to tear it up a little bit. So starting on the outside, draw a couple of some rips. You can see that I'm sort of sticking to this curve, this main curve, but just interrupting it as I go up, just like so. Now that I have that, I'm going to draw, oops, I just moved my paper. I'm going to draw the neck area. So inside of the jaw, I'm just going to draw a curve on either side, coming down. In the center of the chin, below the neck, draw 2 lines down, and again, railroad tracks for the zipper. From here, let's draw some of the shoulder. So the shoulder comes in angles like that. Now let's draw the back of the collar. So the back of the collar, again, is the opposite of this curve. It's going to go upwards this way. But along the way, I'm just going to draw some tears. Kind of look like that. Just overlapping the edge of that front collar. From here, I'm just going to curve in both sides. And then go in an overlap and just curve in again. From here, right about the shoulder line, imagine the shoulder coming in out to the outer part of the shoulder on both sides. And then from here, I'm just going to curve down and down his arms. Right here, we could draw some more wrinkles in his sweater or his jacket. Just draw some upward curves like that. Let's draw in a bit of back hair behind the ears. So curving out behind the ear, and then changing directions underneath the jaw. Finally on this side, a couple overlaps. And oh, one thing I almost forgot are the neck bolts. We don't want to forget those. So those are basically 2 lines that extend out from the neck, then capped off with a round curve, and then just stepped in with another round curve just to cap that off. And then on the other side, we'll do the exact same thing, just flipped over. And there we have it. There's Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please make sure you subscribe and check us out every Thursday when we do more anime character lessons. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.